This is the Iron Man Mark 47 from Hot Toys. This is not what you came to see. We've already seen this. We're not here to see that. We are here to see this guy right here, the Mark 5 from Hot Toys. I just got mine fresh from Pop Collectibles. If you want to pick this up, you can get it today. There's a link in the description below, and I cannot wait to show you about this thing. Here is the box. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's do it. Alright, here we go, guys. We're going to do this a little bit different than normal because, again, I'm in the middle of moving, so we're trying to make this work as I've got everything packaged up and boxed up and camera gear and all that kind of stuff. So here we go. Iron Man Mark 5, finally in the house, and I'm pretty stoked for this one, got to be honest with you. And I can't wait to see what kind of poses we can get out of this guy. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of fun with it. A couple things to note right off the bat is the paint application on this silverish, grayish area. We're going to take close attention to that. Obviously, we've got a head sculpt, and we got some hands. Now, that's the top portion. I guess I've already got all the plastic bits off of this guy, so we can take a quick look at kind of what it looks like. But it's quite good looking, honestly. It's on it. And the first thing I actually noticed when I took this out of the box to get all the plastic bits off of it and the styrofoam and all that stuff is the amount of die cast on here is less than if you've gotten current release Iron Man figures. This is an older figure. It's a reissue, right? So there's less die cast parts on it, and you can tell it based on the weight. It's definitely lighter. I'm talking like the Mark 85 Battle Damage would be the most recent one, and even the Mark 7. If you want to go a little bit past this from the Mark 5 and the Mark 7. So the Mark 7's definitely got more die cast parts on it, and the Midas and those kind of things. Mark 85 is just beautiful. So let's die-cast parts on this thing right off the bat. You can tell like the thigh part here is a little cool to the touch, but the rest of it's very plasticky feeling. It's not like the original plastic Iron Man feeling. There's definitely some die-cast, maybe skeleton, that kind of stuff, but definitely not as much die-cast. And that may be a turn off for some people. It may not be for others, and whatever. So there's that. But you can see just the arc reactor and everything going on. It's just an absolute beast of a good-looking Iron Man figure. So we'll get to him in just a second. I just wanted to take a note of that. So we do have in here, we got some hands, which is all the normal Iron Man hands. You got some repulsor hands. You got just, articulate hands. You got some fists. And then you get this head sculpt, which if I can get this guy out of the box. And I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I've never owned the Mark 5. So this is my first experience with it, and well, let's see if we can't zoom in here. And so far, so good. But there's the Tony Stark head sculpt. Obviously, this is going to be the battle damage version from the attack with Whiplash on the racetrack, and I quite like this. I think it looks pretty stinking good. I like the paint application there on the damage. I dig that, and yeah, I kind of dig. Do you have a way to use this? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to use the the helmet on there for me, but I do like these looking forward. We've seen this sculpt a few times. The hair, I think, is pretty well done for Hot Toys, and it's a nice head sculpt. I do like that it's a split. So I don't know the last Tony Stark head sculpt we got that was actually a split neck. So that's kind of interesting for if you're going to kit bash something. That may be a cool thing. Most of the other ones have a solid one-piece neck, but that actually is kind of a nice touch, so I kind of dig that. Accessory-wise, there is a whole nother bottom tray. And here is that said bottom tray. So In here, we've got a couple extra little bits and bobs. Oh, wrong way. Let's go out. A couple extra bits and bobs. We got our batteries, which I will definitely not be using for the purpose of this video because, again, pain in the butt. I don't want to deal with those. I do like the Suitcase, and it kind of begs the question, do you need the suit-up version of this figure? I think the answer is yes, but that's just for me because I like Iron Man figures. And the suit-up version I think is going to be super cool. But I love the paint application on this. You can see kind of like that glossy, metallic, deep red. And you've got all these little, I mean, you can see like the little inner workings that kind of match the suit. I like that quite a bit. I like all of this. I think it's pretty stinking cool, all of that parts. And you get some battle damage pieces. I really, really like this. And honestly, having not owned the previous figure, I'm not sure about paint applications, all that kind of stuff. But what I do know is that prior to the reissue of this figure, this was a pricey piece. It really was, but I really like this piece right here, this suit-up, pre-suit-up version of the arm. So you totally switch out left arm here with battle damage and all the way down, and then you can see where the gloves are for the tracksuit. I mean, that's just a super cool touch. So I can see me using this. Honestly, I can see me using this with a fight scene with Whiplash. I really do quite like that. Should be pretty easy switch out with the ball joint right there. So I like that quite a bit. That's probably, out of all the accessories, I mean, the Suitcase is cool, but I think this is probably one of my favorite accessories out of them. And we got some battle damage pieces. We've got some another hand here, switch out hand for the, you can use the fist. Obviously, you can switch out that hand, so they give you another one here with a fist with the glove, half gloved and half the, Iron Man hand. So that's kind of a nice touch. Then we get some shoulder armor that's battle damaged. So kind of dig that. That's nice. Nice little burn marks and discoloration on the paint. Dig that. We've got, look at me throwing stuff everywhere. We got different arc reactor battle damaged parts. So I dig those. And, I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff here. If I get you out of here. And here, this is going to be obviously Whiplash's arc reactor, which he can hold in his hand and crush. But I don't think the figure has kung fu grip to actually crush this. We'll have to test that out later, but I don't think it's got kung fu grip. So that's the thing. Then we got some other battle damage parts. So a lot of cool stuff going on in here. And along with this, I mean, you can call it a diorama base, but not really. It's just got the racetrack on there. Iron Man Mark V. Yeah, it's nice. Simple waist grabber. There's nothing really going on there. No flight stand or anything. Articulation on this guy. I think we should just take a moment here before we get into some posing and just kind of talk about range of motion. Obviously, normal Iron Man, but with this Iron Man, you can go way up. I mean, way up there. So if he's flying, he can look way, I mean, look at that. That's crazy. So if he was doing like one of these numbers, I mean, it would be weird, right? Because there's a gap there, but I mean, that's CGI's for, right? All kinds of movable pieces. So you've got the shoulder armor here that you can actually move out of the way. So you can get that ball joint in there, if you can see right in there. And you can pull that socket out to give you some more range of motion. One of the initial thoughts I had on this guy, and I put it next to the Mark 47, obviously the two-tone suit from Homecoming. And one of the first things I noticed was the lack of ability to get the arms really, really close to the body. And we're gonna have to play around with this a little bit, but what I've noticed is on the Mark 47, like there's a larger cutout. Oh, focus. There's a larger cutout here, whereas this one, it really runs into itself. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. It's just different in the engineering of this particular figure, but I did notice that. Obviously, you can you got a double bend on the bicep there, which is nice. You got bicep swivel. Normal Iron Man stuff. The paint application is glorious. And then you've got this piece. If you saw that, if we bend the bicep up, this piece kind of gets up and out of the way, which is very nice. So you don't go, breaking stuff. It's a normal Iron Man figure, right? You got torso extensions. All right. You got double bend on the knees. So you got plenty of that. You got a pivot and ball joint here on the ankle, so you can do whatever you want to do with that. I mean, it'll do pretty much anything you want to do Iron Man figure-wise. And you guys can let me know in the comment section your thoughts on this, but this is just me nitpicking. I mean, this is a glorious piece. It looks fantastic on the shelf when we get it posing up. You'll see what I mean. and I know I'm not alone in this, but I would have liked to have seen the paint on the actual armor, the silver parts. I would have liked to have seen a higher gloss. I don't know about chrome. Maybe chrome's not the word for it, but definitely a higher gloss. This has like more of a stainless steel look, and it might be screen accurate. I haven't seen Iron Man 2 in a while, so it might be screen accurate. But I would have liked to have seen a little higher gloss, so it stand out on the shelf a little bit more. Because honestly, it looks kind of like the Mark 47 in its coloration. It's more of a gunmetal, more than a high gloss silver or stainless silver or stainless steel. But that's just my personal nitpick. So you can see all the details it's got going on over here. Oh, come on, let's focus for me. Yeah, I mean, it's just, look at that. All the little, you can see like the way it was built and engineered, and you can see, I mean, they nailed this. So, I mean, just initial impressions of this guy is buy it. That's my initial thought, is just add it to the collection. I think you would be, I'm trying to do this, there we go. I think you would be remiss if you didn't pick this up now, especially knowing that this was a pricey piece not that long ago. But none of that matters. Let's see what it looks like on the shelf. Before we go crazy with the posing, I thought it'd be important to show you kind of all the little movable parts that was difficult to show in the last clip, which are all the flaps, which you get an Iron Man figure, he does all the little the ailerons and all that kind of stuff, and the flaps and all the just super cool stuff this figure does, which if you want to throw it in a museum pose or something like this, it would absolutely look badass, just like this, on the shelf, literally doing nothing else. And I think that's a pretty cool feature of a figure when you add it to the collection. So we'll take just a quick look at some of these things so you'll have an idea what you're looking at. So obviously the first thing we're going to take a look at is this lower foot section. Check out all these things. I mean, the detail that Hot Toys threw on this thing to showcase all the flaps, all the inner workings of the armor and the suit itself is just stinking awesome. And then if we move up, we're going to see even more stuff going on the back of the figure, where he's got two different sections you can actually open up. There's a lower flap and an upper flap, which looks pretty stinking cool. And then on the torso, I guess the rib region, there's that rib cage section that kind of opens up like that as well, which is, I mean, come on. If you don't have an Iron Man figure, this is a pretty cool one to add to the collection. And I get it that if you're not collecting all the Iron Man figures, you might lean towards like the Mark 85 Battle Damage for its obvious reasons, nostalgia. You might want to go to the Mark 1 diecast reissue that's coming up very soon. Hopefully we'll have that in the collection. We can review that one soon. But as far as shelf presence goes, I mean, if I had to link this one or compare it to maybe like a Mark 50, it definitely tops the Mark 50 for me. The Mark 46 concept, which I absolutely love. I really do. This one beats that one for shelf presence. The 42, definitely. The 43. I mean, pretty much all of those, as you can see right here. I think it's just the amount of gunmetal and silver is just flipping cool. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and break out the Mark 47 so you guys can see those side by side. So here it is. It didn't take very long because it's already on the shelf and I haven't boxed it up yet. But the Mark 47, look at the color of the silver parts. I think they're very, very similar. I mean, the gunmetal on the 47 next to the Mark 5. I mean, the Mark 5's got a little bit more high-end silverish color to it, where the 47 is a little darker, but it is ever so slight. It's not very big difference at all, and that just might be my eyes playing tricks on me because of the lighting setup I have. It might be that. But these two together, I mean, they look pretty stinking cool in my book. So I figured somebody might be interested in seeing a comparison of those two. But let's have some fun and do some poses. What if this actually this didn't happen in the movie, but what if it did? What if Iron Man Mark V flew off while carrying Whiplash? What if? I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. So just a pose idea for you guys. I actually did a posing video on this particular pose with the Iron Man Mark 7 because the Mark 5 wasn't here yet. I did that a few months ago. If I remember to, I'll put a link in the description for that. But you can absolutely steal this pose if you like, and I'll show you exactly how I did it in that particular video. But you can see it looks pretty stinking good, I think. I mean, look at that. You could absolutely display this just like that. There's no wear and tear on the figure, on either figure actually. And the Mark V with Whiplash looks quite fantastic, if I do say so myself. And there's somebody making a custom Whiplash, like whips, I guess, if you will. I think Fusion Reactors make those, and I may try to get my handle on those, or I may try to make my own. I haven't decided yet. I think that'd be kind of a cool deal. But the Mark V is just freaking glorious. Look at this thing, man. What do you guys think of that? Let me know in the comment section, because I think that's a pretty sick pose, in my humble opinion. And yeah, having fun with this thing. So let's do another. All right, we've got Whiplash on the table, posed up with Iron Man Mark V. So there's a couple things going on with this particular Mark V that is awesome and a little bit frustrating. One, being an older figure, the engineering is the older, generation figure. So your Mark 43, your Mark 42, your Mark 46, 47. They call it an older generation figure. Whereas like your 85, you've got a ridiculous amount of range of motion and just stuff like that. So you got to battle with that. You can't get this guy. You can get him in a ground pound pose, kind of like this, but you can't. You're fighting with physics of actual material versus CGI. I mean, with any Iron Man figure, so you get that. It does look amazing with Whiplash, and I think with those light up whips, this would be a sick, diorama set. I mean, I'm need to take some time when I get moved into a new place and tweak the pose and just really hone it down to where it's like a 10 out of 10. And so I definitely want to do that. But for the sake of this, I think you get the idea. And I really want to dye those Whiplash pants orange. So I may just airbrush them. That might be what I do. We'll see. I might be a different project for another channel. If anybody might be interested in doing that and watching me destroy a figure, do that. Let me know. But anyways, Mark V, flipping love it. Don't skip it. It looks flipping amazing. And I am super happy to have it in the collection. Really am. So I got mine from Pop Collectibles. If you want to pick one of these up, they've got them in stock. Yeah, you can definitely check that out. They got a discount code there, payment plans, the whole thing if you want to, buy it that way. But that's where I got mine if anybody's curious. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, now's a great time to go ahead and do that. And then obviously you can support the channel if you like via Patreon. If you want to do that as well, we got 6-scale figure giveaways every month and a super cool dedicated Facebook group specifically for the Patreon supporters. So I'd love to have you over there if you like the work we're doing here. As always, click what you like. See you next time.